Next time on Blood Brothers, he takes on a familiar face.
What are you gonna do? Give me a card, yeah, give me a...
Just quiet your noise, man.
We gave him his own tracksuit. Hello boys and girls, and welcome to my player ratings for Arsenal against Crystal Palace. And again, it's more points dropped, and again there are so many talking points for us to go over. It is just shambolic. We had the perfect start, 2-0 up inside 9 minutes. And even then I still didn't feel comfortable. The football we were playing was not great. The football, you know, in periods were boring. There just does not seem to be any fluidity within the team. We should have won the game because we scored a third goal and it should not have been ruled out. Let's be honest about this. VAR has made a massive cock up. How you can even remotely say that Calum Chambers fouled the Crystal Palace player and to disallow that goal is disgraceful. Somebody should be losing their job today. It's as simple as that. But we won't get away from what really happened on the pitch, and it's not good enough. We can't go looking at VAR as an excuse to get us out of jail. Sorry, it doesn't happen. And I know we're going to talk about Granit Xhaka as well. And what I will say about this situation, and I feel that what I said on AFTV after the game yesterday was quite measured in terms of my approach to it. I'm not going to go in on Granit Xhaka. Everyone knows that I've supported this guy from day one. I get criticised and abused because of the amount of support that I show for him. But I can't support his actions after, you know, the actions of the fans. And I've said that both are wrong. You know, the ironic cheering when his name was read out and he was coming off, that was wrong. You can't be doing that. I then understand why the fans are getting frustrated and shouting when he's strolling off the pitch, because you can't be doing that. It's 2-2. Regardless of how long's left in the game, you're the captain, you should be getting straight off the pitch. Let's get the change done, let's keep going, let's get the 3 points. But he's strolling off, it's the reaction after that. You know, the throwing the captain's armband, hands in the air, the cupping of the ear, telling fans to fuck off, taking his shirt off, going down the tunnel. You can't do that as captain. I understand his reaction and I feel sorry for him in certain respects because the amount of abuse that he has suffered over recent months. You know, he has a baby the other week and he puts that moment on Instagram with his wife and they're being sent abusive messages. Really? Come on, man. You know, I even sent a message to him on Instagram when the post went up and said, congratulations to you and your wife with the birth of their child. And there were people on my comments that were being abusive about it. It's like, really? Seriously, it's not football related. What are you doing? Granit Xhaka's had to disable comments on Instagram because of the abuse he gets. It's not right. I've got no problem with being critical. Criticism. You know, and I said this to Robbie in a podcast a few weeks back when he said to me, what can Granit Xhaka do to win over the fans? And I said, nothing. I think it's past that point now. No matter what Granit Xhaka does, he will be made the scapegoat. The substitution yesterday was not because Granit Xhaka was the worst player on the pitch. He was poor. It was tactical. It's as simple as that. He wasn't the worst player. He didn't have a bad game. But yet, because we weren't winning, the fans are not happy. If that scoreline was 2-3-0, for example, and we made the substitution, everyone would be applauding Xhaka off the pitch and saying, well done, great game. But because it was 2-2, there's ironic cheers like, hey, get him off, get him off. So that's where I do feel sorry for him because he can't win. It's as simple as that, he can't win. But it's the reaction after. I don't agree with it and I'm sorry, you can't be doing that. And as captain, you've got to take a long, hard look at that and you're probably going to have to take the captaincy off him. It's very reminiscent to the Willian Gallas saga at Birmingham when he threw a big strop and everything else. But probably worse. I don't know. Listen, let me know in the comment section what you really think about it. But be critical and be respectful about it. Don't be abusive about it. Don't go in and stuff like that, all right? I'm just going to get straight into the player ratings. Starting off in goal, Leno. And again, doesn't really have much chance with the goals. Distribution doesn't look great yesterday at times, but I don't know what more to say, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to give him a 5. Wasn't a bad game, but it is what it is, straight down the middle. On the right-hand side, Calum Chambers, I thought this was one of his worst games. The penalty he gave away to Saka. You know what Saka does. You know his tricks. Don't stand face up to him. You've got to be sideways on. The moment you stand face to face with him, you're in trouble. Poor game. I'm giving Calum Chambers a 4. Going to move into the centre-back positions, and I don't think we were that bad in centre-back yesterday. And to be honest, they probably got us out of jail. Luiz and Socrates both scored. And of course, Socrates actually should have scored the winning goal. So I'll start off with Socrates. I felt that he dealt with everything that come his way. There wasn't too many problems. And I'll give him a 7. David Luiz, same kind of thing. Wasn't too bad. Didn't feel that we got threatened too much. And I'll also give him a 7. Going to the left-back position, Kieran Tierney. And we just look so much better with him on the left-hand side. It's as simple as that, really. Some good moments, came off. You know, I can see why that happened. He's still regaining full fitness, and the Premier League intensity is a lot different to the Europa League. But that 75 minutes or so would have done him good. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. But for yesterday, I'll give him a 6. Going to move into the centre midfield areas. First of all, Granit Xhaka. And I'm not going to mark him based on what he did with the incident. I'm going to mark him based on his performance on the pitch. There were times where I felt he got spun. One in particular, and he's doing that shirt pulling and just being a bit reckless. But overall, his game weren't bad. He done simple things, just passed the ball simple, broke play up at times in, you know, key areas, and was very simple with what he had to do. And yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And I'll go straight down the middle. I'll give Granit Xhaka a 5. Guendouzi, I feel that again, it was another, you know, energetic, all-action kind of display from Guendouzi. Worked hard, drove at their back line, tried to make things happen. And I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing from him lately. And I'll give him a 7. Next up, we have Nicolas Pepe. And again, I don't think his performance was that bad. I think the game wasn't suited to the way he wants to play. He didn't have the ball in front of him enough. His dead ball delivery was superb yesterday. And that's one thing that I will say. Very, very dangerous corners, free kicks and everything else. But yeah, just didn't get enough in the game to run at Crystal Palace. But I feel that that was more down to the service and the ball outlays to him. But I'll give Nicolas Pepe, because of his deliveries and everything else, I'll give him a 6 because he had a hand in, you know, the goals that we scored. Not directly assists, but it was his corners and his deliveries that, you know, got the initial flick-ons and caused the problem. So I'll give him a 6. On the other side, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and that was not a good performance. But again, the service is dire and he's trying, and I can't fault his work rate, don't get me wrong. I never fault Aubameyang's work rate. I just doesn't look like the player he was 3-4 weeks ago. Maybe he's having a little dip. Happens with strikers and whatnot. But yeah, there just isn't a lot out for him at the moment, and I'm going to give him straight down the middle as well. I'm going to give him a 5. Next up, we have Dani Ceballos, and not a great performance. And I'm sorry, but this is just going to keep reverting back to the Mesut Ozil situation, because you look at it and you say, who's doing more than Mesut Ozil? Is Dani Ceballos? Is Joe Willock? You know, players in this area, when they push Lucas Torreira into a 10, no one's doing more. And it wasn't a great performance from Dani Ceballos, to be honest. He works hard, can't fault that, but the creative side of things just was not there. And I'm going to give him a 5. Going to move to the main striker. That was Alexandre Lacazette. And again, another poor day at the office. Again, can't fault his work rate, but it was just the overall play. It was not great. It was not good. And, you know, the supply line's not there. And when we're playing sideways and flat, it just does not work for him. So, yeah, again, the same as Aubameyang, really. I'm going to have to go down the middle. I'll give him Lacazette a 5. In terms of the substitutions, Kolasinac came on. Didn't really have a lot of time. I'm not actually going to mark the substitutes, to be honest with you. I don't think they had a lot of time to really do anything. And yeah, same with Saka as well. When he come on for Xhaka, wasn't really a lot. I don't know why Martinelli's not coming on. To be honest, I think that he would have caused more problems, but I'm not really going to mark them. Unai Emery's marking. Do you know what? He played Tierney. But again, you've got to ask questions. You've got to ask questions about why Torreira's not playing, why Mesut Ozil's not in the squad. The team look void of ideas. They look like they're not being motivated. It doesn't look like some of the players want to play for the manager. I'm sorry, I'm saying it how I see it. And it's not great. And I'm going to give Unai Emery a 3. Because I don't think his substitutions were right. I don't get why Martinelli never come on. And again, I don't get why Ozil's not in the squad. I just don't get none of it at all. And yeah, something's going to have to be done and something's going to have to be sorted out because it's not great at the moment. And I can feel that toxic atmosphere coming back within the stadium. So it's not great. So yeah, let me know as usual in the comment section whether you agree, disagree. What would your player ratings be? Who do you think was our best player? Who do you think was our worst player? For me, it was Calum Chambers. I don't think he had a good game yesterday. Gwen Dozy was one of the better performers. And of course, the centre-backs, they got a couple of goals. And Socrates should have had the winning goal as well. But it is what it is. So, yeah, if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And, yeah, I'll be preview for the Liverpool game because we play them Wednesday night. My last pre-season game for Blood Brothers is out tonight. Of course, tomorrow, like I said, there will be that Liverpool preview. Hopefully a match day vlog. And then the player ratings for that game. And we'll see what happens. Be interesting. I'm quite down about everything, to be honest, at the moment. It is what it is, isn't it? It's just... Hopefully we can get it sorted out. But listen, till the next lot of videos, I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.